After a long journey halfway across the world, lost in the mail, Betty finally came home. I have been so looking forward to getting this palette in my hands, and I finally have it. We are going to put on a full face of Lisa Eldridge where applicable. Lisa doesn't have, she doesn't have brow products. She doesn't have a concealer. I mean, she does, but not an under eye concealer. She doesn't have blush or bronzer, but everything else, where possible, is going to be Lisa Eldridge. If you'd like to hear my take on Betty and how these eyeshadows perform and take a look at some close-up swatches, see how I got this eye look, you're in the right place. All right, you guys, it's finally here. It's finally here. I'm so excited to open this package and film this video. So we are going to do a full face of Lisa Eldridge where possible. So she doesn't have some things. So some things I won't be able to use Lisa Eldridge. Where I can use Lisa Eldridge, I will be. We are going to start with the Milk Makeup Cloud Glow Primer. This is a foaming primer. It's incredibly watery. It doesn't change the texture of makeup. And for that reason, I really like it. It doesn't add any extra texture to my skin. It just adds like a soft, subtle glow. So I have all of Lisa's complexion products. I have the Skin Tint and I have two of the Seamless Skin foundations. I think today I'm going to go with the Skin Tint. The shade that I have in the Skin Tint is T5. It is very olive. Like very neutral olive. I think a lot of complexion products label their shades olive and they're really kind of warm, like a neutral yellow. This is a true olive, like a true green. So here is that shade. That is T5. I have green in my skin, so it works for me. If you are a true olive and you've been unable to find a shade, I would take a look at the Lisa Eldridge Skin Tint. Now my hand right here, my hands, I've shown this in videos before, but the hand that I swatch things on is often, look how much redder it is. Like, that's just crazy. It's because I'm like rubbing it and doing things. I have the kind of skin where if you just touch it, it gets red. I'm a lefty, and so I swatch things using my left hand onto my right, and my right hand is always super discolored. In videos, that like blows my mind. I have shade 5, which is a neutral, and then I have shade 11, which is Lisa's shade. 11 is a warm shade. You can see the differences there in the undertones. You know, this being the Skin Tint shade T5, which is very olive. This being shade 5 in the Seamless Skin, which is very neutral. This being 11 in the Seamless Skin Foundation, which is very warm. I think today I'm just going to go in with the Skin Tint. You really don't need much of this. And it is such a neutral, like, can you see how neutral olive that is? It's almost got some gray to it, which works for me. Really, you can use your fingers with this. I probably should have, but I'm just going to use my sponge real quick. This is an absolutely beautiful, beautiful skin tint. I haven't really had a chance to talk about this much on my channel because in the winter, the shade does not match me. You know, we're coming into spring. I've been outside more. Lisa Eldridge does have a concealer. It is a pencil concealer. I'm sure you've all seen it. It's like a spot concealer. I don't spot conceal hardly ever. If I ever do need to spot conceal, I'm just going to use concealer. So I didn't purchase that. I can see where it would be useful for a lot of people. It's not a useful product for me because it's not meant to go under the eyes, and under the eyes is where I do my concealing. I'm going to go in with my Dior Forever Skin Correct. This is in the shade 1N, a dot here and a dot here. Just in case you needed a reminder about how good this concealer is before the Sephora sale. This concealer is fantastic for mature skin. It is such a smoothing concealer for aging, mature skin. It's beautiful, and you get so much product. You get like 0.35 ounces in here. I know this video is not about the Dior concealer. Putting it on, again, reminding me how great it is. So Lisa does not have a bronzer either. I think I'm going to go in with my Hermes bronzer. This is in the shade Atlas. Okay, we are bronzed. Lisa also does not have any brow products, so I'm going to use my Westman Atelier Bon Brow, and I'm going to set my brows with my Victoria Beckham Feather Fix. I love this product. I do not like the Victoria Beckham. I am just trying to use it up. So if I sound like a broken record in my videos about that Victoria Beckham, That's why I'm just trying to get through it. Here is my palette. I have not even opened it up. If you don't know the story of this shadow palette, you probably don't know the story. Oh, I got a sample of the cleanser. I've actually been wanting to try her facial cleanser. Here is the palette. So I ordered this when it launched and it got lost, right? Like, I mean, obviously it arrived. It took forever. It kept getting rerouted and rerouted. I would check the website and it was so far away from me and it was almost here one day and then it was not. She has been on a journey. Hopefully she is still in one piece. Here is Betty. Here are the shades. This palette is beautiful and it just screams spring to me. You know what I mean? This is the first time I've actually like looked at it face to face, palette to face. It's really, really pretty. It's not quite as pink as I thought it was going to be, which is great. It's very lilac-y neutral. Oh my gosh, look at that. So it's hard for me to tell the textures of them without touching them. I thought that might have been a matte. That is not a matte. That's like, wow, that shade is stunning. There are no mattes, which is fine with me. I'm fine with shimmers all over. I'm going to do this shade right here all over the lid. And I am just using my finger. I like to use my finger with shimmers. It's just kind of the easiest for me. And I'm taking it kind of into the crease and kind of blending it out with my other finger. I'm not using any other eyeshadows just because I want to only use Lisa Eldridge. We might go in and warm it up with a bronzer or something. But for right now, we're just going to use these eyeshadows. So that is the shade Prima Donna. I'm going to take this shade right here, Lavender Queen, and put it right in the inner corner. I'm going to take this shade right here, which is Talk to the Paw, and put it in the outer corner just for some depth, just to kind of ground this look a little bit. Just going to very lightly kind of tap it in here. I'm going to take that under the lash line. I'm going to take a clean blending brush and well, let me make sure it's clean. Yes, it is. And blend this out and just soften it a little bit. I just wanted to kind of extend the shape there or create a shape. Now I'm going to take this shade right here, Starlit. This to me is like, it's like a mirror glaze. This shade is stunning. I'm going to tap it just in the middle, just as like a highlight. Just to kind of highlight my lid. See that? It's like subtle, but I'm going to take the purple and tap it under the lash line, just really close to my lashes. Now I'm going to go in with this Starlit color and the inner corner. Let me show you the swatches of this insanely beautiful palette. I mean, every single shade. There is not a dud in this palette. They all swatch beautifully. They are all so creamy. This is just rub in the pan, swatch, rub in the pan, swatch. I don't do any like trickery here to make swatches look better than they actually look. This is sticking my finger in here and swatching. And there is not a dud in this palette. I feel like every single one of these shades could be a one and done. I wanted to use as many of them as possible because this is my first time using the palette, my first time playing with the palette. So I wanted to get a feel for what it could do. I do feel like what it is missing is warmth on my face. It's very, very cool. I do want to line my eyes. That's going to give me an idea how everything is going to look, how everything's going to be framed. Like I always do, I'm going to tightline with my Victoria Beckham Satin Kajal in black. I'm going to use my Lisa Eldridge Kitten Flick. This is my absolute favorite eyeliner of all time. This eyeliner is so good. It's priced well. It's a tiny little brush tip. I'm going to go in with the Lisa Eldridge Kitten Flick. Is this called Kitten Flick? Lisa Eldridge Kitten Lash Mascara. I have mine in black. I did not pick up the burnt umber because I just know that's not for me, right? My hair is darker than that mascara. So I would effectively be lightening my lashes by putting that on. It's not what I would like for my lashes. Yeah, I don't think her mascara or her eyeliner get enough love. I think they are fantastic. I think they are exceptionally good. I'm going to line my lips with the Lisa Eldridge lip liner in 2C. The shade that I think I would really like for this look is Audrey, but I don't have that. Velvet Ribbon, which is, I think, way too much for this look. And then I have Painterly, which is a pretty sheer formula. I'm going to go with Painterly and I'm going to top it with something else to kind of brighten it up a little bit. Painterly is such a beautiful color and it's so comfortable on the lips. I'm going to top it with Chanel Cocoa Balm in Tender Peach just to brighten it up and make it a little more coral. I'm okay with that lip for now. I'm going to put the blush on though. We might change the lip. I just wanted to do a Lisa Eldridge lipstick. This blush combo that I have been doing, it's funny because I saw Mandy Davis MUA do an entire blush combo video where she talked about one of the Huda Beauty blushes and topping it with a MAC blush. And I have been doing a cheek combo too, but it's been 2 Huda Beauty blushes. And I've been wanting to demonstrate it on camera. I feel like this look is the perfect time to do that. This is one of the new Huda blush filters in the shade Sunset Lychee. It's a beautiful, vibrant coral. Blend it out with my Rare Beauty foundation brush. I'm taking it kind of high. I've been topping it with the Ube Cream. This is the Lilac blush. It released a few months ago, and it's perfect with these eyeshadows. That is Ube Cream. What I do is I just take like 2 small dots kind of on the top of my cheek. I'll show you. Let me just show you. Let me stop talking. And I just use that on the top of the cheekbones. Okay, so I am going to, while I have, while it's still kind of damp, I'm going to tap it on my brow just a little bit, just to kind of tie it all in. That is the cheek combination. I love this combination. Screams spring to me. All right, so this is the look. I think I want to go in with a lighter lip. I mean, this is okay. I'm okay with this lip. I kind of want to do a brighter lip. So I'm going to wipe this off. And I'm going to go straight in with the Rouge Cocoa Balm in Tender Peach by Chanel. Not a huge difference, but it's just a little bit lighter. And there's a lot going on my face right now with the blush and the eye. So I wanted maybe just a slightly lighter lip. These colors on my eyes, every time I look in my mirror or see my eyes in the monitor, the intensity of the purples, the vibrancy of these purple shadows, like they are screaming and I love it. I love it. I love it. I hear them. Let's talk about Lisa Eldridge. Lisa Eldridge has some hits, some massive hits, in my opinion. Some of my favorite products are Lisa Eldridge products. This skin tint is one of the best on the market, in my opinion. It's hard to beat. The performance of this product is fantastic. It has a lot of coverage. It behaves more like a foundation than a skin tint, in my opinion. It lasts all day. It looks the same from morning till night. Really, really nice. And I like the packaging. It's small, it's compact. I really enjoy it. I like the packaging on that much better than I like this packaging. It's unique, it's innovative, it's beautiful, but it's hard to store. I have a lot of foundations, and this one often gets overlooked because it can't stand up with my other ones, and so it's like tucked into a drawer, and I often forget about it. I mean, that's the truth, but it is a really nice foundation. I'm going to try to start wearing it more, especially shade 11 in the summer. I do really like the formula. I think that these are severely underrated. Kitten Flick eyeliner is fantastic. It is so, so good. It is my favorite favorite eyeliner of all time. I have been wearing winged liner since the 90s. This is the best eyeliner pen that I have ever used. It makes it so easy to draw a wing on my aging eyes. It gets harder the older you get. Still, I still love my wings. So this makes it so easy. This is the easiest to use eyeliner that I've ever come across. The Kitten Lash Mascara is a really, really nice mascara. I mean, it does a great job at lifting, separating, defining, lengthening. It has a tiny little brush. These kind of bristles worked for me. It's just a really good mascara. It doesn't get a lot of love. I'm not sure why, but I love it. I think it's fantastic. I didn't use the Elevated Glow Serum in this video. If you watched my empties video, you'll know why. It started separating. It's very chunky. I don't know what happened to it, but it went off after just a month or two. So that was a very disappointing product for me. That is the only product from her range that I have been disappointed in. The Lisa Eldridge lip liners are really, really good. They're so long lasting. This is the shade 2C. I love it. I have no complaints about this liner. It is one of my favorite lip liner formulas. It's really, really good. She has a great shade selection. They're based on undertones and depth. And then I'm not wearing these. I mean, I did try on Painterly. It was a little too much, but I do just want to show them here because these are the two Lisa Eldridge lipsticks that I own. I have Painterly, which is very sheer. That's why I put it on today. And then I have Velvet Ribbon, which is like her iconic, true Hollywood glamour red. It is my favorite red. This is Painterly, this is the lip liner, and this is Velvet Ribbon. Velvet Ribbon is a matte. It's a very comfortable matte. And then Painterly is like a sheer, I don't know, it's called a deep mauve. To me, it's not deep. It's like a mauve. Really, really pretty though. I really like her lip products. I do want to get Audrey, but I don't know if I'm going to. I don't know. The most important piece of this puzzle and why everybody is probably here is the Betty palette. This palette is absolutely gorgeous. It's everything that I hoped it would be. In fact, I think it's more than I hoped it would be. Looking at it online, I felt like this was going to be a deep copper shade and like a deep orangey copper. And I was just like, why is that in there? It seems so out of place compared to all the other shades, but it's not. It's more of like a gold, like a bronzy gold. And then this shade here in the center, wow, you talk about a wet look out eyeshadow. That is a wet look eyeshadow. That is like the kind of eyeshadow that you can put on your lid with nothing else. And it's a whole look. I mean, it's so beautiful. That shade right there is so beautiful. Like a sable, taupey sable with a little bit of pink in it. Gorgeous, gorgeous wet look, smooth, creamy eyeshadow. This shade Starlit, I swear when I swatched it, what I thought of was a mirror. Like it looks like a mirror shine, so reflective. Also wet looking, like look at that shade. And that's a beautiful one and done too. Like I'm convinced that all of these can be one and dones. Let me swatch this gold shade since I talked about it. It's not near as orangey as I thought it was going to be. So it's not as out of place as I initially expected it would be. I was expecting like a deep copper shade and it's not. So, I mean, that's another shade that would be a great one and done. I could even tap that on my brow bone for some warmth if I wanted to. I'm not going to because I'm fine with this, but you could, you know what I mean? Let's try Lavender Queen. Now, I will say of Lavender Queen, every time I put this on my eyes, it burns. There's an initial burn. It's not burning right now. I've put this on twice because I was, midway through an eye look and then used a dirty brush with this shade. It burned. And I was like, oh, I wonder if it's because my brush is dirty. So I cleaned off my eyes and started again. And when I put this shade on, it stings. So I'm going to look at the ingredients and see what that might be. If I figure it out, I'll pin a comment or something. I don't want that to scare you because I have very sensitive skin, very sensitive eyes. That's why I don't like to use foundation brushes. That's why my hand is super red because I'm swatching it and moving it. I just have very sensitive skin. I'm allergic to the Natasha Denona eyeshadows. I've never found anybody else that is, but I am. I can't use any of her eyeshadows. I kept buying palette after palette thinking maybe it's just this palette or maybe it's just this palette. No, it's all of them. It's all all of them that I react to. And I'm the only one. I've never found anybody else that reacts to Natasha Denona eyeshadows. There's several others. I can't wear L'Oreal from the drugstore. There are a few formulas that I just can't wear. This shade might be one of them. I'm going to see if it like irritates my eyes or it was just like an initial sting and then it goes away. We'll see. But, you know, I just wanted to point that out because I like to be very thorough and give you all of the information that I have. And that shade burned me. Then this shade, what shade is this? Prima Donna. Look at that. It's so creamy and smooth. These shades are beautiful. Is this palette worth the wait? Yes, absolutely. I'm thrilled with it. It is one of the most beautiful palettes that I have seen in a long time as far as 6 individual shades. Each and every shade in here individually is stunning. Stunning. I would probably say the most boring is Talk to the Paw. Look at that shade. It's gorgeous. It's like an oil slick, but I'm just saying comparatively, that's probably the one that I have something most similar to. Just that shade. It's still beautiful. I'm just saying like all of the others have a shift or a special finish or something. That is just like a straight up metallic. It's beautiful, but it doesn't stand out as exceptional. This one though, my gosh, I can't get over that one. I can't get over that one. That's not what I expected. It's so much better than I expected. You know how, I mean, I know you guys can relate to this if you're watching this because you're watching it, but you watch something, you see other people play with something, and then you get it in person in your hands, and it's different, either worse or better. I have to say this is better. This is better to me than all of the videos that I watched, all of the people trying it on, because like I said, it was late, so I had time. I had time to like watch videos and see people playing with it. And I think in person, it's so much better than it looks in videos and swatches online. Like, it's gorgeous. I don't think you can go wrong with this palette. I really, really don't. I think that there's a shade in here for everybody. Now, it's hard to make a cohesive look. I mean, I did. It's very spring, but I'm here for it. I'm loving it. Betty is an absolute stunner. This is probably the most excited that I've been for a Lisa Eldridge palette, period, since the brand launched. I don't own all of her palettes, but I'm going to have to say this is the most beautiful one. This is the most special one. This is the most unique. And I love the story behind it, you know, her kitty cat. So yeah. Betty is a hit from me. It is limited edition. If you want this palette, I do not think you would be disappointed in the formulas. I really don't. Like, look at them. Look at that. Look at that. I just don't see how you could be disappointed in these. I really don't. And I'm not out here trying to sell you stuff. You know what I mean? I've mentioned before, I get nothing if you purchase anything that I talk about in my videos. I get no benefit from it whatsoever. I'm not an influencer. I'm just talking about things that I purchase and my thoughts on them. I'm trying to come to you as an older woman, as somebody who has a lot of experience with makeup, loves playing in makeup, thinks of makeup as self-care. And as a person with very mature eyelids and very mature skin, I think that these are absolutely stunning. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I will see you soon in my next one. If you did like it, please subscribe and give me a like. I would love to have you here on my channel. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. And until then, please take care of yourselves.